Hello and welcome to Tech Britain TV. My name's Imran Azam and we're joined by Oran O'Carroll, who is the founder of Walled City Records, which is quite an apt name for a city where there are walls, which are quite famous, and that would be Derry, London Derry. We're at CultureTECH.co. We're here in celebration of technology, arts, including music, here in Derry. It's the second year of the event itself, and we're enjoying ourselves. Are you enjoying yourself?
Enjoying myself so far, yeah.
Okay, you're a local, aren't you?
Local, yeah, born and bred.
Born and bred. So what is it? Is it a bit strange to see all kind of Derry as a centre of kind of the tech world for a few days?
It is, it's pretty weird. I mean, it's great even for the city of culture. Since the start of January, like, the world's eyes almost seem to be on Derry for the full year. Especially now with CultureTECH. It's fantastic having a week-long celebration, as you said, dedicated to technology, and I'm a bit of a tech geek myself, so it's great seeing all these things coming in and getting to sample it, and it's gonna be a great week. Like.
So how has the technology scene changed over the last, say, 5 years here? Do you see more and more businesses establishing themselves in Derry, and if so, why?
Definitely. I mean, a lot more people are becoming self-employed. Like, I'm a student at McGee University here in Derry. I'm studying business, and there's a lot of people of my age in my course who have become self-employed as well. And it's definitely due to the fact that you don't need a premises now to set up a business. Like, you avoid high rates in the city, high accommodation, high rent, and all the things associated with having a premises, heating, oil, etc., etc. And you can just sit in your house with a laptop and an internet connection, and you can take a small idea and make it global, and you can sell your idea or product to the world. I think it's a great thing to be able to do.
I mean, you're right in that it's more accessible to many people these days. I think the challenge lies in having the skills, or people around who have the experience and the skills in order to help, which is why technology hubs or environments such as Silicon Valley, Silicon Roundabout, these hubs are so important, because whilst different people might be working on different things, we're all kind of in the same space, scrambling around trying to learn the same stuff. So do you find a lot of cross-pollination between people? Are people talking? Are people learning from each other? Are there places people go where they learn about tech?
Definitely. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are involved in the same industry as myself, through making recording studios, making music videos, management sites and that, and we're all feeding off each other, about social media trends, the best way to market ourselves online. But even like the Nerve Centre here in Derry, which I don't know if you've visited yet, but it's like a creative hub in Derry where anyone involved in arts, entertainment, would go there, would be associated with it. I mean, there's gigs that run on there, attract big acts from around the world, and there's also lots of classes that happen there, like how to manage a music business, and there's classes like, editing classes, how to record, and just people learn a lot from it, and taught by industry professionals as such as well. So it's a great spot for anyone involved in the arts and entertainment.
So I've interviewed a couple of people and come across a couple of people involved in the music industry in one way, shape or form. Is Derry a hub for innovation in the music industry, or is this just a coincidence? I could just keep bumping into these people.
No, I think everyone says there's no talent in Derry, like singer, songwriter wise, and even the talent for singers is phenomenal, which is true for such a small city. If you look at the many people who have made it from the city, it's crazy. And I think it just goes hand in hand with that. I mean, people who are talented enough to be great musicians have now learned that, we can record in our own bedroom, and we can get our music to a global audience through using like TuneCore or whatever. I think people, as you said, are just bouncing off one another with ideas, learning a lot from each other.
So let's talk a little bit about Walled City Records. So you established this label in August 2012. Okay. Tell us about. Tell us what Walled City Records is, and then give us an idea of what you've been able to achieve on behalf of some of the artists.
Well, Walled City Records is an independent record label aimed to take local, national, international acts, record their music in our studio audio booth, and take their music to an international audience, a global audience. Initially we set up, me and my business partner, Dana McGinty, set up a recording studio called Audio Booth. Right. That was in June 2012. and we had the idea to set up a record label. And when you say to anyone, I run a record label or sell a record label, like, really? You do that? But it's kind of the impression that we have, but it's not as difficult as it sounds to set it up. So did a bit of research into it online and found out we can do this kind of started tomorrow.
So you get a bit of kudos, do you, when you say you run a record label?
People will go, what? And then it's not as glamorous as it sounds.
Does it open a few doors?
Sometimes.
Socially, personally? You don't need to answer that. I think we know the answer. I think we know you're opening 9 when on a night out in Derry. Right. So okay, fine. So you run a record label. You're obviously a young guy, bright guy. Yeah. You understand the digital space. Even the digital space probably sounds a bit archaic to you. So you use iTunes, Amazon, Spotify in order to promote artists. Yeah. And you're telling me previously that there's one particular artist who you're promoting who managed to come #1 in Mexico.
Yeah. Our first release, Darryl Coyle, who was his local fella. He's from Derry. He came into our studio in June to record an EP, not knowing that we were going to sign him or not knowing that we were going to start a record label. When we decided to go ahead with Gold City Records, we said, who's going to be our first artist? No, who's going to be our launch? And we said, God, we'll get Darryl in. So we got him in, got him ready, put his music up online, sent away to iTunes. It went on a 4-week pre-order. Damien did his usual stuff, put it out on Facebook and Twitter, and it was released on the 1st of October. And it was one of those nights where it was released at midnight, and we were sitting up all night refreshing iTunes, seeing how well is it going to do. And it was like, Damien, he was on patrol for, I think it was Mexico and America and Canada, and I was looking at UK and Ireland and that, and he was like, it's number 20 in Mexico, and I was all, no way, it's number 177 in the UK, and it just kept building and building until it reached #1 in Mexico. I think it was number 50 in America, and charted in 6 countries, 111 in Australia, 32 in Peru. So it just kept going, and as I said, at the same time, One Direction, The Killers, Muse had new albums out at the same time, and in Mexico he just shot past them and #1. I mean, iTunes charts are real-time charts, so it's not like you could be in there for half an hour or an hour. So we were in there for about 4 hours, so it was pretty good. Like.
Wow. So okay, that's obviously a success story. Yeah. If you want to sell records in Mexico,
you have to be big somewhere, I suppose.
So what is? I don't expect you to answer this, but I should ask. What is the secret sauce of Wall City Records? What is it? What is it that you do that stands you apart from other labels?
Well, the reason why we set up a label is that my business partner works on TV in America, and he's lucky enough to have, I think it's 1 million followers online through social media sites. So whenever we set up the business, the whole idea was this is our distribution chain. I mean, he's got a very loyal fan base, and whenever...
Sorry, he's an artist, is he?
He's an artist and an actor. So whenever our artist release come up, he tweets a link, puts a link on Facebook. No one says this is our latest release through Wall City Records, check it out, and people buy it. And I mean, that's an added bonus because the artists that we sign have their own following as well, so they can sell records themselves. But for us, we can sell more than that. Do you know what I mean? By taking, whenever we release artists, Damien's fan base is global, so we can take artists to a global network. Like from who would have been just playing gigs to people in Derry, like Darryl, he can take them to a global scale, as I said, charted in 6 countries.
Wow. Okay, so that's where you are at the moment. What's going to happen moving forwards? What are you looking to do?
Well, we're taking a kind of release by release, and we've learned a lot from past releases, what to do and what not to do. But coincidentally enough, Darryl's second EP is due out this Sunday, so it's been on a 3-week pre-order at the minute.
Watch out, Mexico.
Watch out, Mexico. Exactly. We're tackling some other countries now. No, but yeah, exactly. The first time he released his EP, we didn't have a budget for a music video, and this time we secured a bit of funding, so we were able to shoot a music video, get his website launched, get a nice photo shoot, do all the things that you would expect to do, but of course cost money. So we did that and kind of established him as a brand almost as well, and just gonna try and get his music out there as best as possible this time as well. But I mean, with each release, the label's growing and it's getting bigger. So
what do you look for in an artist?
Like everything, kind of. like a lot of people come in, and like especially I show my mum all the artists, come in like record in the studio, and she's like, sign them, and it's like, look, it's not about just being able to be a good singer. You have to, have a personality, the image, be able to write good songs. Singing's obviously up there and top 3 of what you need, but you have to just be a ready-made package, ready to go.
So I get a vision of you and your co-founders sitting with buzzers.
No, it's not. It's not the X Factor.
And people coming along and saying, please sign me up, and you're telling them to get lost, basically.
No, it doesn't work like that. No, but I mean, people, like as I said, we had an American release, Eric Doherty, and his manager contacted me and said, can you produce an American client? I said, of course. And I thought he was just going to email through tracks, but he flew over and recorded. Flew over from Kansas. Him and his manager came and recorded. He released his EP through the record label. So it was crazy that for our second release attracted international attention. The fact that he flew all the way over, paid the flights, paid the recording fee, and flew over, paid accommodation just to record here. It was crazy.
Wow. Okay. Well, you're obviously going international. That's a good thing. If people want to find out more about what it is that you do, where can they find you?
We're on all the usual social media sites like Facebook and Twitter. So it's like facebook.com/Walled City Records, Twitter @WCityRecords, and our website's www.walledcityrecords.com.
And just for those who don't get the connection between Walled City Records and the city, why are you called Walled City Records?
As you can tell from being here, we're surrounded by lovely walls that enclose the city. And
nothing more complicated than that.
Our studio is located within the Nerve Centre, which is also in the Derry walls, so I found it be an apt name for the business.
Fantastic. Oran, I apologise for getting your name wrong on so many occasions.
Right.
Yeah, it makes a change. Normally everybody gets my name wrong, so that's fine. Thanks for joining us.
And
all the best with Walled City Records. So there you go. Oran O'Carroll, Walled City Records here in Derry, CultureTECH. We're going to take a break for about another hour or so, actually probably another half an hour, and we'll be back with an additional interview very, very shortly, so do stay tuned, and we'll be back with you shortly. Cheers.